Well, good afternoon or good morning, good evening. It kind of depends on where you're at, right? And obviously, I am at a different location than normal. First of all, quick weather check. Yeah, I'm inside because outside it is sunny, bright, and hot. Not quite as hot as deep South Texas, but nonetheless, it's pretty hot. It's 84 degrees, feels like 97 here. Eddie Schneider, what's up? Hey, Eddie, how you doing there, buddy? So anyway, I am obviously in a different location at the moment, kind of running around a little bit, doing stuff. Right now in deep South Texas, where I was, there is a tropical storm going on. So I guess I got out of there just in time, right? Let's have a little sip of the non-green nectar. Still not sponsored, by the way. Still pretty good though. So anyway, this trip has given me the opportunity to run around to some different Toyota dealers and or dealer at the moment. I've been to one so far. I think I'm gonna check out a Nissan dealer, because all you guys out there, or at least the ones that are against the new Tacoma, have stated that you would be interested in and switch to the Nissan Frontier. So we're going to go by and have a look. I think I'll probably do that maybe this weekend at some point. I'm not quite sure yet. Might even do a live stream from there. That would be kind of cool to do, assuming I get reception. And that's one of the biggest things I guess I'm looking for in this live stream is how is the reception? You know, at home, I have a much more stout internet connection, I guess, or speed than what I have here. It's about half or so what I have here. But anyway, let's talk about the new Toyota Tacoma. Oh, and one thing I want to mention, I've seen one new Tacoma here. I actually ran into somebody at the grocery store shortly after I got here who recognized me from the channel. So if you happen to be on, how you doing? Had an awesome truck, by the way, Lunar Rock. Lifted, was a really nice truck. Ashley, would you ever drive an EV truck? I might. I mean, I have an EV car. I have a Tesla, so it would kind of depend. You know, I do have a soft spot for the Rivian, but it's kind of a funky looking truck. It kind of puts me in mind of the Volkswagen of trucks, right? Gives me that vibe. I don't know. Rich King, what's the car behind you? You talking about this car right there? I'll have to show you that car if you're interested. If enough people, I guess, have interest in it, I will do a little tour of it, and I'll show you what that car is. But you guys got to leave comments. You got to let me know if you're interested, and then we'll talk about it a little bit, because frankly, that's not a Toyota Tacoma back there. Although it is red, I guess, like my Tacoma. Shoe Family YouTube. No one is buying Tacoma. Bad engine, period. Some dealers refuse to take them on trade. Yeah, no fix for the recalls. You are confused. There have been no recalls on the Tacoma. I don't know where you're getting your info, but somebody's lying to you. What you're talking about is the Toyota Tacoma. I'm sorry, I can't even get it right. The Toyota Tundra, the one that has leftover bits of metal in the engine from machining. You are incorrect on the Tacoma. That is not true. Ashley Peterson, dang. Why do you say that? Eric Nearing, it's not a truck. What's not a truck? You talking about the Rivian, the EVs? Is that what you mean? Jay Port says, oof, the Lotus. There you go. Somebody guessed it. There is a Lotus back there. I'll show you guys a closer look at it if you're interested. We can look inside, all that kind of stuff if you want. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you're interested in seeing more of it. I'll show you since we're here. Let's see. Jay Port says, Lotus is the hidden gem. Engine has great reliability. it moves, I'll tell you that. Ashley Peterson says, LOL, right. Ashley says, that is beautiful. It's a pretty good looking car, but it is very, very small. Very small. Let me say, you'll be able to tell when I'm next to it, excuse me, as opposed to away from it like I am right now. If you're interested, leave some comments down below. Just let me know if you want to see it. I'll show it. I'll show more of it to you if you're interested. Eric says, yeah, that EV thing by Tesla, it might be one of them truck cars. I forgot the name of it. You're thinking of the Cyber truck, I assume. That is the ugliest thing, I think, on the road. Real quick, before I forget, and I'll remind you a few times throughout the live stream because you need to do this as a YouTuber. If you haven't before, click that subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. Helps out the channel and shows me you guys are actually awake out there. That I'm not talking to some kind of AI, which maybe I am, I don't know. But anyway, smash that subscribe button if you would. I really would appreciate it. I do need to give a shout out before I forget. I always forget to do this, and this is a bad thing. I should remember this all the time. I have members on the channel, and I like to give members out. We're up to, I don't know, 6 or 7 now. So I'm going to run through the names real quick, and you guys who I'm mentioning, and if you see anybody come on that is a channel member, they'll be in green right down there in the comment section. But we have Gregorio Lopez, joined 7 days ago. Thank you. We have Annie Gilo. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing any names. Thank you. John Stewart, Bob Jones, Chad Kranatz, and Wee Fergie. And part of what I like to do is to kind of give back to the channel members. If you have a website like a YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever, as long as it's clean, this is a G/PG-13 rated channel. I'll give you a shout out, or you can just put the name of it in down below and I will release it to be seen. Gives you a little bit of publicity, I guess. Kind of my way to give back a little bit and say thank you for being a channel member. Let's move on here. Jay Port says, Exige. It's a Lotus Elise. That's what that car is back there, a Lotus Elise. Eric Nearing, how much weight can I hook my camper to it? LOL, it's a joke. I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to. We've talked about so many different vehicles already. I don't know which one you're meaning. Eric Nearing says, absolutely agree. Jonathan Ratliff, hey Rob, watching you here while getting your hair cut. That's awesome. And your stylist, hair cutter, barber, cosmetologist. Hello, and I hope you're watching too. You don't really need to pay any attention to Jonathan's hair right now. What you really need to pay attention to is the RobMotive live stream. So I'm sure if you make a mistake, maybe cut an ear off or something, he won't mind. He won't mind. I'm speaking for Jonathan now. But anyway, Jonathan, thank you. I appreciate you being on here. I really do. Let's see. Raider fan. I'm assuming that's what that means, Raider fan. Hey, Rob, Ray from Las Vegas. Ray, how you doing? How is Vegas today, by the way? Eddie Schneider, your truck is not in that garage. Wow, treating you like relatives, LOL. My truck is not with me, period. That's why it's not in the garage. It wouldn't be in this garage anyway. I mean, I don't live here. So, you know. Let's see. Eric Nearing says, El Camino. Oh my God, now we're talking about El Caminos. I don't know. Eric Nearing. No, you don't like, wait a minute. I'm going to read this as written because so far I don't get it. It says here, no, like you're talking about trucks and then you're talking about the car. How much weight can you pull with the car? I would say 0. That car is obviously not designed to pull weight. Pedro 664. Didn't Lotus have an MR2 engine? I have no idea. I know nothing about the Lotus. Jeff Fielder, where are you at, Rob? I am in Ohio at the moment. Devon Devon. I'm going with Devon Motorsports. 2ZZ engine in there. I have no idea. Raider fan, hot. Eric Nearing, the Tesla truck looks like an El Camino. Oh, I understand. Okay, see, I'll connect the dots eventually. It's ugly. I wouldn't buy that truck solely based on what it looks like. To me, it's almost like, I can imagine this. I can imagine Elon sitting in a room with his designer saying, let's make something so stupid and so immature looking that people are going to buy it. We're going to take their money because we're going to charge a hell of a lot for it, and then we're going to sit back and laugh. And one guy said, you know what? Let's make a wedge. How much simpler could it be? We'll say it's aerodynamic. It just looks like this. It's ugly, and we'll sell that. And they did, and they were right, and people have bought it. Excuse me, $100 and some bucks a pop. There is absolutely no way, man. Let's see. Tuca says, what is the car behind you? That car right there is a Lotus Elise. Pedro, I like the outside of the truck, not the inside. Tesla. Ooh. Really? I would prefer the inside and never have to see the outside of that thing. I just think it's nasty. And I actually saw one. You know, it's funny. I've seen one new Tacoma on the road here and one Tesla. So they're tied. Really? We have the brand new Toyota Tacoma and the Tesla, and they're equal in the number that I've seen on the roads. I mean, what the heck? I know the Tacomas are selling. Where are they? I mean, are people hiding them in the garage somewhere? I don't understand. I like the outside. Eddie says, did you bring your wife with you? Absolutely. Eric Nearing is just so stinking happy he can't even handle it, man. Pedro, the Tesla truck is bulletproof up to a 9mm. Yeah, I know. So a 45, I mean, come on. Chuck McDonough, still on the fence about buying a new one. I love my 2020 Tacoma Sport. You're going to get so much more with the new Tacoma. I mean, as far as acceleration, technology, comfort, I mean, it's awesome. Definitely above or beyond what the third gen is. And I've mentioned this many times. You know, when I say that, I'm not knocking the third gen. I love the third gen. I mean, for God's sake, I've had like 8 or 9 of them. But this is just a progression. This is a step forward. Let's see. Eric Nearing, when it comes to electric vehicles, like I've told my family, if one electric vehicle for running around town and you buy a gas vehicle for going out of town, yes. I couldn't agree with you more, because for me, if I'm going on a 25-hour driving trip, I don't want to spend half an hour every 272 miles, in my case, with the Model 3, sitting at a gas station. And some of you may be wondering, why didn't you bring the new Tacoma? Man, I kick myself now that I'm here. The only reason, there's 3 reasons I didn't bring it. 1, I would have had to have driven it by myself. The wife flew. That would have gotten pretty boring over 25 hours, right? 2, I didn't want to have all of the damage that you can get in traveling, right? Stone chips on the front, cracked windshields, all that junk. I didn't want to have that. And that's really it. I guess there's only 2 reasons I didn't bring it, and they were obviously big enough for me to not bring it. So I regret it. I regret not having it here. I miss it. I actually miss both. I think what would have been ideal for me would have been to rent a trailer, put the Tesla on the trailer, and then haul both of them with me. That would have been the best. Kind of a stupid idea, I know, but that would have been pretty cool to do. So, are there any new Tacomas actually available? I'm subscribing. Love your stuff. Eric, I appreciate that. Thank you. And by the way, if you haven't, please click that subscribe button wherever it is on your screen. Helps me out. I really would appreciate it. The Guzzler says, what's up, Rob? Guzzler, I'm good. How you doing? So I went to a local dealer here last weekend, and I was a little disappointed. Toyota dealer, of course, looking for 2024 Toyota Tacomas. I went to the dealership, and I did not see a lot. I think I saw, and if you saw the video, then you know, I saw 3 of them. And that's not a lot of Toyota Tacomas, right? So either they're selling them pretty quick after they get them in, or they're just not getting them in. And I find that hard to believe because here in Columbus, Ohio, it's a pretty big market. I mean, there's a big population, lots of people, and I would be shocked if they're having problems putting their hands on the new Tacoma, unless Toyota is limiting them, right? Because there are a vast number of them that have shown up down in South Texas. So anyway, I went to the dealership. I was hoping to see some of the higher trims. I saw an SR and two SR5s. I mean, that's it. And they were white, underground, and I think black, if I'm not mistaken. And that's it. And I was pretty darn disappointed. Now, pricing, let's get to that in just a sec here. Fodera 4. Rob, are you familiar with the Tundra big recall? I am. How unfortunate is that for Toyota? I mean, these engine problems, and people are now trying to project that over to the Tacoma. I think it's such a joke. You know, the trolls out there will look for anything they can try to grab onto, and they're trying now to say that the new Tacoma's engine is not reliable because of what's going on with the Tundra. There are two different engines. I don't even know if they're made in the same place. I really don't know. But they're two different engines. To try to project what's happening with the Tundra over to the Tacoma, I think that's a reach. I am not concerned at all. Plus, if anything happens, I have warranty, you know. Let's see here. Eddie Schneider says, what? You have a Tesla? I do. If you're curious about that Tesla, I have another channel about it. It's called RobMotive Plus. There should be a link down below, or you can search it on the internet or on YouTube, but it's called RobMotive Plus. It's all about that Tesla. And I gotta say, you know, I withstood the urge for a long time because I've always liked the Tesla idea, right? But I didn't like the Model 3 look. And I wouldn't buy above a Model 3, particularly since it's the first one I've ever had, because I wouldn't want to spend all that money for like an S or something and then hate the car, right? So they redesigned, I don't know, the Model 3, and I like it. That's why I bought it. Mine is in blue, gorgeous car. Blast to drive. But anyway, I'm not going to turn this into a Tesla chat unless you guys want to. But you can find it over at RobMotive Plus. Chad Kranatz, there you go. There's Chad right there. And you can see his name is in green. That's because he is a channel member. And I do surely appreciate that, Chad. Chad says, hey, Rob, what's up? Just hanging out with you guys, trying to fit a live stream in during my little excursion here that I'm on. I'm going to try to fit a few more in over time. We shall see. How you doing? Are you grilling for lunch today? I got to know. Pedro, Tesla truck is useless, just like the Hummer EV. Yeah, an electric Hummer. I mean, what? Come on, man. Eric Nearing, is the body of the Tundra or the Tacoma built than the same place as Ford's because they seem so, the actual body? I would say not. I would say the body is probably actually manufactured in Mexico for the Tacoma and in San Antonio, Texas for the Tundra. I think bodies are still actually built on site to where the rest of the assembly occurs. But I'm not positive of that. Somebody else on here may know that. I'm not exactly sure. Donnie says, hello, here, Los Angeles, California. Donnie, how you doing? 6139 ASNF. Sir, I have an 18 Tacoma SR5 for a few years. Are the new Tacomas better when it comes to finding the gears? I never had any big problem with the 6-speed Tacomas, but I will tell you that from everybody I've heard of, and I don't think I've heard one negative thing about the new transmission, the 8-speed, it is better. You don't have the gear hunting that people have reported. Again, I've never had that, but people have reported that. Much smoother rather, and I can hardly even tell when it's shifting gears. So definitely, if that's a big issue for you, excuse me, you ought to give the new one a try. Take it for a ride and see what you think. Eric Nearing, I was just wondering because they always seem to be real similar. They are similar. And some people point that out like it's a problem. And I'm like, how is that a problem? I mean, I think the Tacoma, or rather the Tundra, is actually a pretty good looking truck. And I believe that the styling cues that they took from the Tundra and used for the Tacoma actually look better on the Tacoma than they do the Tundra. By the way, I've got to say this again, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. Maybe you're new in here, maybe you haven't before. I really would appreciate it. It helps out the channel. Shows me that I'm not alone here. Shows me a little bit of love. Let's move on that note. Eric Nearing says, oh yeah, they're good looking. They're a good looking truck, 100%. I think they look great. I do too. I still say, even with the redesign, the Toyota Tacoma is still the best looking mid-sized truck on the road. However, let me put a caveat there. The third gen, right there with them. And I will even go as far as to say the Colorado and the Nissan Frontier are right there too. I mean, they're, whether you like them or not, they're pretty good looking trucks too, I think. Although I believe the Frontier is kind of getting a little bit long in the tooth. You know, when I see a new Frontier on the road, it just looks a little bit dated to me now. Still a good looking truck, but I think the new Tacoma has dated everything else. That's what I think. Jonathan Ratliff, body stamping, yes. Is there on-site in each manufacturing plant? Yeah, you never drive down the road and see a semi-trailer full of Tacoma bodies. And that's what they would have to do, and they would have to send a lot of them. You never see that, so I believe that all of the bodies themselves are actually stamped, welded, and all of that stuff at the facility. So in Mexico, there's 2 different plants, and San Antonio, Texas for the Toyota Tundra. Let's see, Eric Nearing. The only problem I've had with them, all the ones I test drove seem to be underpowered. Are you speaking about the Toyota? You can't be speaking about the Toyota Tacoma, are you? I mean, I would be shocked if you're meeting the Tacoma because I don't see any way that truck. Now, maybe I should back up. The SRs, I'm not sure about the SR5, are kind of detuned a little bit. Yes, so you are. What did you drive? I mean, did you drive anything above an SR5? Or are you driving SRs and SR5s? Because those, at least the SR, is detuned a little bit. In other words, it doesn't have the oomph that the TRD and above line has. And of course, the hybrids, which hybrids are not out yet, I don't believe. Actually, I take that back. There was a dealership that commented somewhere on social media that they had a hybrid. Eric says, I'm not real sure. They were mostly work trucks. Yeah, then they're probably SR5s. I could see that. They're not as powerful. They're detuned as compared to the others. Jonathan, he may be talking about the previous gen Tacoma, unless Eric is wanting Hellcat power, LOL. Yeah, I assume, Eric, you're talking about the 2024 Tacoma, not the 3rd gen or 2023 and that period older, but I could be wrong. Let's take a quick look. I know a few people had asked, so I'm going to show you guys what we have here. This is a Lotus Elise. I can't tell you what the year is because, frankly, I do not know. It is a very, very tiny car, of course. 2-seater. You know what? Somebody asked me if it was the Exige. And it does say that on the seats. So I think I got that wrong. If you look inside the window, you can see the name. So I apologize. I thought it was a Lotus Elise. Or maybe that's just a trim line of the Elise. I'm not exactly sure. It is rear engine. You guys can see the engine back here, I hope, below the screen. So there's your engine. It says Lotus Performance on it. Let's take a quick look inside. Does have a big honking wing on it. That's pretty cool, I think, and it actually flows well with this car. So I think that's pretty neat. To get inside this car, it's a little bit different. We kind of have a push button locking mechanism thing, like so. And you're inside. Now, take a look at how tiny this thing is. I mean, this is my hand. I know it's not proportioned, right? But anyway, the seats are teeny tiny. The windows still have that thing. Do you know what that is? That's a crank for the windows, right? No power anything in here because this thing is designed, I guess, for speed or for power. So it doesn't have all of the electronic stuff. And for those folks out there who don't like all the electronic stuff, well, I guess the Lotus is for you. I can't believe this isn't an Elise. I thought it was. Maybe this Exige, like somebody mentioned, is a trim level of the Elise. I'm not exactly sure. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh my God, right there. So the person that mentioned that was correct. I was incorrect. And look, there's a speaker right there. Can't miss that. Here's a closer look at what you get on the inside. Notice there's a lot of metal, not a lot of anything else, even metal down here. So you're basically flying around in a go-kart. I mean, this is kind of reminds me of a go-kart, right? There's the gauge cluster over there. Give you an idea what that looks like. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty darn basic. Switch you guys back around. It's pretty darn basic. I have driven it, and getting in and out of it, it is difficult. I mean, if you were about 4'9" or something, I suppose it'd be okay. But when you're a massive, hulking 5'9.5" like I am, it's a little tight getting in and out of, I have to say. Let's get you guys back over here where I can see you. Take a few more comments here. Let's see. Let's see. Eric says, coming off driving the Ford 6 Turbo. Yeah, you probably had more power in that Ford than you do in the new Tacoma, I guess. I mean, it is a 6-cylinder, you said, right? Eric Nearing, those cars are beautiful. I love them, but they scare the hang out of me. I would be afraid to take them out of the garage ever. Like I say, I've driven it. It's a blast to drive. It's very quick and very low to the ground, that's for sure. Somebody could easily miss seeing you, I suppose. Devin Motorsport says, cool. Looks like that's a 2ZZ engine. Can you overclock the ECU to get it to rev higher? I made mine rev to almost 10,000 RPM by changing the crystal oscillator. I know nothing about the mechanics of the car, so I don't even know if you're just pulling my leg or what, so I can't speak to that. 6193 says that's an expensive version of the Pontiac Fiero. Maybe you're saying Fiero? I'm not sure. I don't know. Chuck McDonough, like your live chats. I get a lot of good information from you. Thank you. Chuck, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Eric Nearing says, damn it, should be what I worry about, being scared of bird pooped on it. Oh, I see. So you're not really concerned about the driving part of it. You're concerned about the keeping it clean part of it. I understand that. I mean, right now it's spotless. So, you know, as soon as you pull it out of the garage, it's not going to be anymore, right? I know what you mean. Anyway, got to give you guys one more quick reminder. I know we don't have a ton of people on here today. It is a work day. Devin says, no, it's true. You can Google it. Pretty easy to do also if you're good at soldering. Well, it's not my car, first of all. I mean, so there's nothing I would do to it. Eric, he's laughing. Brand 700 says, people will miss seeing you on a sports car. Even grandma drives a big truck today. I have a sports car. It's a Tesla Model 3. It's faster than most sports cars rather. Anyway, don't forget, click the subscribe button if you haven't before. I think while I'm on my little excursion here, we're probably not gonna have live streams on Sundays. I might still kick in, but the primary day for live streams is gonna be Wednesdays. So if you wanna catch me live, I'll be Wednesday between 12 and 12:30. We'll call that Eastern Standard Time since that's the time zone that I'm in right now. Danae says, hello, Rob. I am planning to buy a base SR Tacoma for work. My question is, cool down turbo. I drive all day and I make 20 stops and I'm usually and I usually turn on and drive for 20 minutes and turn off. You shouldn't have a problem with that. I would just drive it below 55 or 60 for a minute before you shut it off, according to Toyota's manual. Otherwise, I don't think you'll have any issue with that at all. Eric says, I hope your excursion goes very well. Me too. I hope so. Anyway, appreciate all you folks being on here. Again, don't forget, on your way out, click that subscribe button wherever it is. A big thumbs up would be helpful. I'd appreciate that too. But more importantly is the subscribe button, really. Robert Hannaford, my thermostat went out on my 21 Tacoma yesterday, 36,000 miles. Kind of weird, huh? Yeah, right at the end of the warranty period. There's a conspiracy for you. Don Van Slyke, thumbed up. Eric, thumbed up a lot. And Eric, thank you for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate that. Everybody take care out there, and we will see you next time on the web. Bye.